About the Arab Spring, and I appreciate what I heard, there are, I think, two main questions overarching. One question is, was it a surprise? Because this was the talk of American media, is wow, who could have believed that? The second question is it a conspiracy? With all honesty, those are the two main bodies of inquiry we are dealing with. To try to answer the first question, is the notion that it is a surprise. What kind of a surprise that is about 50 years overdue? When something is 50 years overdue, you cannot call it a surprise. You call it delayed, not a surprise. So it is a boiling point. When you put your pan on the stove, time goes, then starts giving bubbles, then all of a sudden boils. You cannot say the boiling point was a surprise. It is a law of physics. And what happened in that part of the world is that people were on fire long enough to reach a boiling point. As simple and as straightforward as that. And if they have not, then something is very wrong with their basic human beingness. Nobody can stay on fire in a liquid state without reaching a boiling point. And they reached the boiling point, and so we saw what Dr. Karen described very accurately. The second question is it a conspiracy? And I had great fun listening to that from both sides, all sides. In that part of the world, still keeping the vow of honesty, conspiracy means something done by America or Israel or both together. This is the meaning of the word conspiracy in that part of the world. There is no Chinese conspiracy, nor a Scandinavian conspiracy. There is a conspiracy means America and Israel wanted this to happen. Could it be right? Could it be wrong? This is not the issue. And after all, the fact that I am paranoid doesn't mean that they are not out to get me, after all. So people have reasons to think this way. But we have here to, as intellectuals, to ask, conspiracy by whom, against whom? The conspiracy theory has to happen to benefit those two powers that people perceive as the source of conspiracy. And I look at those rulers who have been toppled down and the rest who are going, God willing, to be toppled down. Do they irritate really America or Israel? Do they threaten either one of those? Is Mubarak, when he was fighting the besiege on Gaza, was hurting Israel? Is Assad, who is securing completely the borders of the Golan against any activity, keeping it completely peaceful, is really a bother to Israel? Is Qaddafi, except of what he says that perceived as jokes, that he's going to destroy America, and at the same time sells the oil in abundance to America, is he really a threat to the American construction and ambitions and domination? No. The theory of conspiracy does not hold water, because those you are claiming that they manufactured this conspiracy are the very ones who created these regimes, fed these regimes, got them fat and powerful because they benefited them, and up till now they have no threat whatsoever from these regimes that they are claimed to be conspiring to topple them. It just doesn't make sense. We are, at least, should respect our own intelligence. The same thing is being said in Syria now. And when they wanted to be a little bit creative and innovative, after calling them the armed terrorists for so long, it is Al-Qaeda. It is Bin Laden from his grave, destabilizing Syria. So, the mere fact that this logic is shared by all of them in a well-documented, announced in public statements, again means that there is something very rotten about this false theory, and we have to think about something else. The explanation that's appealing to me, and I am not neutral, and I am biased or hard-headed about certain concepts, that this is the voice of God in people. People are created by Almighty, and He blew in human beings from His Spirit and entitled them to dignity. And the dignity across the board for the believer and non-believer, the Muslim, the Christian, the Jew, the atheist. The progeny of Adam were given the blessing of dignity by Almighty. And so anything that tramples that or ignores it, it will be only a matter of time until that voice of the Spirit of God speaks and people resent that kind of oppression.